You are now listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast.
What up, everybody? You're listening to the Fierce Kingz podcast. My name is Paul. I'm with the one and only Stu. You know we're going to make it splash, and really important that you say hi to your Maz for us. You know what I'm saying? Stu, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. It's episode 4, so we're almost a month in, which is, you know what? I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed.
This is probably, I can't believe we didn't quit yet.
And we probably should have.
We probably should have quit after the first episode, but we held on.
Or just never done it in the first place. Just said, you know what? It's best kept as an idea.
That's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. You know what I mean? Just keeping ideas, not executing them.
Yeah, because you never fail if you never actually try.
That's it. You don't want to feel that feeling of failure, right?
I could do it. I choose not to.
Yeah, I decided that maybe it was best that we didn't do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yo, so just before we actually kick off the show here, I wanted to tell, because I tagged you in something on Instagram, and it was this June bug challenge. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
There's this guy. He's pretty famous. It looks like. I think he's a TikTok star. He's which obviously leads to being like an Instagram star, and he just loves to fucking dance. He's a dancer. Yeah. But not like salsa, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you could actually dance, but he does like those funny 90s hip hop dances, and he does dance challenges, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I peeped it real quick, and I tagged you in it, and should the Fierce Kingz be doing a TikTok, and should we be doing dance challenges? Just food for thought here.
Well, of course. I mean, you got it.
You just got to dance, but dancing's tough, man. Dancing is not easy. This guy's pretty good, and his challenge is hard.
It's very hard. I'm not going to lie to you. I tried it, and there were several things that came up with it. Was number one, and I like to think of myself as a relatively good dancer for the most part. Yeah. But when you're trying these new ones, no matter what it is, especially with the kind of more like these TikTok, Instagram kind of viral dances that are going on these days, it's hard to not look white, for lack of a better term, especially when you're first starting it out and you're kind of rigid and stiff and you're like, yeah, man, you just got to kind of loosen up, pulling the Elaine kind of going on, little kicks, throwing thumbs, throwing kicks. And then, I think one of the other things as well, when you're kicking it off, and you start to film yourself, because you got to see the moves in action, right? You think you may look good. It's like, when someone sings along to a song and they think they sound like Adele, and then when the song stops, it sounds awful, right?
Yeah.
So it's like same thing with that. So you film yourself to get the moves down and see what you're looking like. And I got to admit, I didn't like what I saw.
No, you know why I didn't like what I saw? So I got my wife to film it real quick, because when you're in the shower practicing your dances, you're thinking to yourself, I think I got it.
Yeah, totally.
I think I got it. We're ready to film the challenge and hashtag Junebug challenge and make it. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, all right. So I hit up the lady. I said, need you to film this. I just need to send it over to Fierce, see where we're at. And let me just tell you, forget about the dance. Seeing a whack body like mine on camera, just having a bunch of jiggles.
Yeah.
That was the shocking part. And that's actually, now that I think about it, this could lead into our first talking point here, but I've gained a couple pounds. Okay. I've gained a couple pounds, and I'm not talking 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? And so I got the home gym. I'm looking at it right now, just kind of all set up. It looks beautiful. It's spotless.
Yeah.
Probably because it hasn't been used yet.
Yeah.
And so, and that's exactly what I want to bring up. During COVID and all this stuff, how many people do you think have set up home gyms, right, to do home workouts, haven't touched them once?
Probably just about everybody, to be perfectly honest. I think again, it goes back to the first point. The idea of it is a lot more, impressive than actually doing it. You see people who go and shop and get decked out in all that gear, in the Under Armour and the Adidas and yoga pants and, the whole nine. But they're not going to go work out. They're just looking like they're going to go work out.
I think you're right. Like, people love the idea of working out and the culture around, like, the workout culture, right? Like, you even see people in my neighborhood, if I go on a walk or whatever, like, they're, like you said, they're decked out in workout gear, but they're just taking the trash out.
Yeah.
Right. But they want people to think, yo, see this right here?
Yeah.
I mean business.
And because there's something about that, the clothing as well, that
is cool.
Well, not only is it cool, but somehow it's quite restrictive. So it makes you look good. Like, there have been times where I've put on a brand new workout shirt and I'm like, damn, that's kind of all right. But when in actuality, you take off the shirt and it's just a whole different person underneath.
Do you think maybe people put on the workout gear, they look at themselves, it looks they're like, wait, I look pretty good. And then that makes them say, well, I don't even really need to work out right now because look how good I look in these clothes. And that's why everyone's addicted to rocking, like, the workout gear.
They're addicted to thinking they look good, not actually looking good. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, thinking is half the battle anyway. If you feel good, you're going to be like, okay, I look good, and you're going to have confidence going out, right? Yeah. But in the long run, you're like, no, you're still a fat piece of shit, just like me.
This actually made me think about, remember going to the gym back in the day, like 12 plus months ago, when you would actually go to the gym?
12 plus years ago?
Yeah, well, in my case, yeah. But like, there'd always be the hardcore people working out, and they were in shape, and it's like exactly like you said, they wouldn't have restrictive gear. Maybe they would have like a cutoff shirt, and they're covered in sweat, and they actually look kind of like shit. You know what I mean? They're busting their ass. But then there'd be like that dude decked out, fresh Jordans, socks up to the knee, like it's like a style thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
He had something that said like Gains on his shirt, you know what I mean? And like, he meant business. He had a headband, and he's at one of the machines. He's got the huge headphones, like those like ear canceling headphones.
Yeah.
But he's at the machine for like 45 minutes just to hit 3 sets.
Yeah.
And you're thinking to yourself, buddy, are you going to move on from here?
Well,
like, what are you doing here?
And because he's got the noise canceling, he doesn't hear you when you're going, hey, dude, I got to get to the rack now.
Yeah. How many sets you got left? He's like, all of them.
Yeah. The whole night.
Yeah. I haven't even started.
I've got a playlist of Lady Gaga going, and I'm going to be here until 10:30 p.m.
Yeah, he's on Spotify. He's listening to This Is Gaga, the playlist, man. And he's going to be there for a while.
He's going to be there for a hot minute, man. But no, it's true. I think that for a lot of it is a little bit more of like maybe not so much of a status symbol, but like optics or something. Like, you could tell, as you said, they're the people that kind of look rugged, that have like this old stuff,
right,
that are going there and just going to blast. You know what I mean?
Hour of power, do their thing, this, that, and the other. Where then you see the other people, both men and women, that are decked out, and they're effectively just like walking around to show you like, hey, look at me. I'm here. Yeah.
I'm at the gym. And you're like, I did it. I made it here. Up. And you're like, are you going to get a pump on? They're like, what's that?
What are you talking about?
People work out here?
Yeah. I'm going to be chilling right by this mirror.
I'll check you at the fountain.
Yeah. Check me at the fountain. I'll check you at the reception when this is all said and done.
How many towels you got?
Dude, I'm stacked. I'm stacked on towels. It's funny though, because recently I downloaded like that Peloton thing.
Yep.
So Peloton, it's like a treadmill. Those sneaky sneaks, eh? Yeah. Oh yeah, buy a treadmill. By the way, you can't use this thing unless you pay the $20 a month subscription. You know what I mean? It's like, great. I'm out $4,000 plus the $160 a year or whatever for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? But like, they do a really good job, like making you feel good. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why people are hooked. They're like if you scroll through it, you could do a 5-minute workout. You could do a 10-minute workout because they don't care. They're like, you did it. You showed up and you did one exercise. And guess what? You are strong.
They're like, you are strong. You did it. You dug deep. And thank you for taking out a new mortgage on your home just so you could essentially go walk around the block. 100%. Like you should just leave your house and the exercise would almost be the same. But they're like, no. You need the gear. You need the treadmill. You need the bike. I think Peloton's also got a lot of bike stuff. You need the screen, the subscription, all this other gear, the water bottle, the bands or whatever. And then
that's it. No, that's what I'm talking about. Like that shit is exciting to me. Like, and I think that's what everyone gets excited. Like, imagine this: it's 2021. It's a new year, right? And they're saying, finally, like you and me, we've been trying to get jacked since we were 16, right? Still hasn't happened, but it's the same resolution every year, right? Exactly. Like this year, it's happening. I'm gonna get jacked. It's happening. But people are like, all right, here we go. I need my water bottle. I need my headband. I need brand new shoes. I need the weights. I need this. I'm telling you about my home. I have a treadmill in here. Dust everywhere. You know what I mean? It hasn't been touched. You know what I'm saying? But I got it here, and because it's a new year, new me, right? And so, like, I think people are they just love the fresh start, and they love the prep for a journey. You know what I mean? But they hate the journey. The journey sucks because the journey is the hard part.
Well, that's the thing that's totally bogus about that stupid quote anyway. Is everybody's like, oh, it's all about the journey, not the destination. Fuck no. Get me to the destination
as fast as possible.
You think that when you're going on a flight, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to sit in this cramped airplane. No, I want to be in LA. I forget the 4 hours, or not to mention all the other like prep and security and all that sort of stuff. You're like, get me there as quick as possible.
What percentage of people, if they had the choice, like if they say, hey, listen, for $100 and some really hard work, you can get your six pack, right? Or pay me $10,000 and I'll get you a six pack by the end of the month. I would save up $10K and be like, done.
Yeah. And I think you can these days. You just say, hey, cut me open and put in whatever you need and make me look dope.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I guess you can do that. It probably is 10K. Yeah. It's like $250 per ab.
Yeah, exactly.
And people chits out. They're short, so they don't have a six pack. They just got a 5-pack.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Yeah.
It's $50 per oblique.
You only have one oblique. You were short $50. Fucking hell. But what's making this a little bit easier for me in terms of like getting back on track and actually, trying to get back in shape is I bought this scale, right? I was telling you about this. I bought this scale. I forget what the company's called. It's a digital scale, right? And it takes all the information and puts it into an app, right? And what's cool about that is you can like add your friends who have the same scale. And I got my mom on there as well.
Okay.
And so I don't know about you, but like I come from a family of fat shamers. Yeah. Like fat shaming is actually a thing in the family.
Yeah.
Like it was Christmas dinner and we took some pictures and like my mom looked so disappointed. I'm like, what's up? And she's like, you've gained so much weight. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she had to send those pictures over to Poland, you know what I mean? To the motherland. And then she's getting texts back from her sister. Wow, he's really gained weight. He's done this. And so now, man, with the scale, she can see if I'm going up or down and you know how close she lives to me. So she'll knock on the door and be like, we need to solve this problem ASAP. You know what I mean? So I get fat shamed left, right, and center now.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I think that's a European thing. Like I find from my travels and from the people that I've known and this and that they're just far more blunt as a culture. And it's not doing it necessarily to disrespect you. It almost in a way is doing it to help you. So them being like, oh, that's a terrible haircut. Oh, you've gained a lot of weight. Oh, your skin's bad, blah, blah, blah. They're saying it in a way it's like, fix yourself up, look proper, and you're going to be a better you. Where the North American way is to lie to everybody and say, you look great, even though you're a foot in the grave already. They're like, oh man, you look great. Don't do anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, pal. And you're like, you are literally the worst version of yourself. Go and get yourself sorted out ASAP in more ways than one. You're a disaster and you need to fix this right now.
To keep up with the theme of health, right? We're talking about our bodies. We're talking about changes in our bodies. If you're gaining weight, if you're losing weight, if you're feeling sick, if your skin is healthy, etc. I want to ask you a question about technology, because technology is getting kind of crazy these days, right? Mm-hmm. To the point where I really think we're really close to being some form of a cyborg, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. And if you think about it right now, like I can't leave anywhere without my phone, right? The phone is basically attached to me, right? If I leave my phone at home, there's panic, dude. There's panic. And I know there's people out there who's like, that's fucking pathetic, blah, 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 blah. I would much rather someone steal my car. Let's say it was like $100,000 car. Just go take the car. Just leave me my phone, right? Because it's access to people, to information, to everything. And so I had a question for you. With the rise of artificial intelligence, with the rise of, integrated technologies, would you ever, let's say in the next 10 years, like think about realistically implanting some kind of device into your body?
Me? No. Never. So, okay. Like my work recently started to do direct deposit. So that's, send the weekly paycheck directly into your bank account.
It's my jam.
Prior to that, I think that started in maybe October or November. Prior to that, I used to still go into the bank teller, not even the bank machine. I would get my checks. I'd let a couple build up, make you feel a little bit, like nice. you're loaded, and then go into the teller, have a chat, do that thing, and I just still prefer the analog way. I prefer to write on a piece of paper. I have an iPad and it does its thing, but I still prefer to read from like a book, write on a piece of paper, and just that sort of old school analog way. So the idea already where we are technologically terrifies me as it is.
But what if it made your life easier and everyone was doing it? So hear me out. Let's say it's a chip like this that goes in the back of your neck or wherever, under your armpit. You don't see the shit, right?
Sure. And
it connects to an app, and it's the Stu app. It's your life app. You can check every morning. You log in to you, and it says, "Oh shit, you gained this much weight, or you need, you need to burn these many calories to do this, or like you should really take a shit because you're backed up, or like, hey, your left leg is running at 30%. You should go see the doctor because you got a limp." Like that kind of information, to the point where you can actually like every day assess, like, how can I live to 250, basically, right?
Yeah.
Or is that still just like I don't think so?
For me, it's still an I don't think so. I mean, I guess it's one of those like, ancient philosophical questions where someone, if they were like, if someone knew, or some being or whatever knew when and how you're going to die, would you want to know? It's like, no. I'm okay with that sort of willful ignorance to know that there are unknowns out there and that there are mysteries, right? And the same thing for this, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that there aren't huge benefits to what you're just describing, but to me, I'm just like, nah, that's not something that I want to.
That ain't you.
That ain't me. That just like awareness to that sort of detail seems sort of to the overall point, like less human, You're
definitely.
You're really completely foregoing our whole idea of
your machine.
You're a machine.
You're becoming the machines. You're the rise of the machines.
Yeah, you're Christian Bale or whatever.
Yeah, you're T1.
T1. Yeah. But it's like, because I mean, even take a look at what we're doing now, right? More often than not, most of us, and probably the majority of these listeners as well, sit at a computer all day, and you're hunched and you're feeling just awful by the end of it. Human beings weren't meant to do that. That wasn't we have evolved from the chimps to stand upright for a reason. Now we've just devolved to go backwards, and they're like, sit in this lounge chair, sit in this office chair, and get and stare in front of this screen that's with this fake light.
Now let me ask you a question. Imagine the cavemen back in the day. Right?
They'd be good at computers.
Yeah.
Because they're already sort of hunched over anyway.
Well, that's what I'm
All
saying.
they need to do is type away.
What if they're around a campfire, right? They're fucking hungry and bored, right? And like someone just linked them like 6 ergonomic desk chairs and they sat on them. Do you think they'd be like, I fucks with this? Or do you think they'd be like, you know what? We don't need that. We're not going to evolve to that next stage of hunch over.
Well, that would be the equivalent of the microchip for them.
They've gone to the Stone Age, the Stone Age right after.
Basically, it's trying to say, what's this? An ergonomic lounge chair?
Oh my fuck!
Because I mean, I don't know. Like that's a pretty wild question, but I think and I think you're sort of a part of the process too, where people are recognizing this. Yeah. And they're going for the stand-up desk. The stand-up desk is
standing right now.
And I see a lot of these people at my work where it's like a elevator or like an escalator. Like it's got, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a platform. And so sometimes when they're, I'm going to eat lunch or this and that, they'll sit back down. And it'll kind of go down. And then when they're like, I'm feeling like I need to stand and stretch out, then they kind of pop it back up. And it almost has like hydraulics that bring it right back up to the top without damaging anything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm rocking right now. I gave it a try. And I actually did it specifically for the podcast because, dude, work all day. And then, we got to record for another hour and a half. And I just slumped over in a chair. I said, listen, man, I'm going to stand a little bit. So I don't know. It hasn't crapped out just yet, so I'm pretty happy about that.
What day are you?
This is day 1, baby.
Okay, so it hasn't crapped out yet. That's a good catch.
It wasn't cheap either, so I want to make it at least 10 days or so,
I guarantee you if you got rid of it, you put that on your front lawn, gone in 30 seconds.
It's gone in 30 seconds.
I've the stuff I see in my neighborhood that people put out and literally goes like that is unbelievable.
Well, the number one is a fridge. If a fridge goes on, if someone has an old fridge and you put it on the front lawn, 3 to 6 minutes, a car goes by and just strips it for parts. Yeah. And I think I've even seen not even a grown man, an old man, 70 plus on a fucking bike, on a bicycle. And he's just like, well,
strapped a fridge to his
if I don't take this fridge right now, someo's coming. Right, he sees a guy down the street in a pickup truck. He's like, he's going for it. And he fucking did it. He did it.
If you see a pickup truck coming and it's got the back bars, that's taking every fridge in the general vicinity.
In a 5 kilometer radius, easily.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those guys are scrappers. They're picking up every scrap from here to Timbuktu, right? And they're trying to make their 30 cents. And
they make like $40 a day, and they go straight to the liquor store.
Yeah, like I wonder with those dudes, like, do they do anything else? Like, because they can't make that much money, right? Like, by the time you've pissed away all the money in gas, the 3 sheets of aluminum is gone. Like that would have paid only for the gas. Like, where's the profit?
Yeah. You know what, actually, I've been thinking about a lot, because in my neighborhood, and probably in yours too, there's a lot of I'm assuming they're homeless, but I'll get to it in a second. I'm assuming they're homeless, but they go through everyone's recycling and grab alcoholic cans or bottles, right? Yeah. And then they work all night, dude, all night, every day. And they go take it to the liquor store, and they probably get, I don't know, probably anywhere between $12 and $20, right? If you come with 4 garbage bags, maybe more, or a full cart.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, if you put that much effort, the hours, the breakbacking, the labor, like fix yourself up a little bit.
Go get a job.
You can still be homeless and go make $12 an hour at a scrap yard or something like that.
Yeah.
You have such a great work ethic. You know what I mean?
Because that is one of the things that perplexes me, because I mean, some of those dudes that do that stuff, the cans, the scrap metal, shit, even the panhandlers who are sitting on the partitions of like the freeways or the big major streets at the streetlights, they work way harder than the average person. And
I just sit at my desk and my back's in pain, and these guys are like actually hustling.
Straight up hustling, and they're doing the damn. Like there's a dude I saw today, just over by Martin Grove Collegiate at Martin Grove in Eglinton, and I pulled up to the red light, and he looked old, and it's freezing today. It must be like -10 or something.
Yeah, I didn't leave.
And I had to hook Buddy Boy up with the toonie because I felt bad. I was like, it is fucking cold out, man. Like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, he's doing his thing. He knows that that's how he's going to make some dinero, and por favor, you know what I mean?
Muy dinero. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted to touch base on the last thing here. I think we were talking about artificial intelligence, but fuck, you know, it really veered off here. What I wanted to tell you was everyone's got a Roomba, right?
Sure.
Everyone's got like smart lights. The connected home.
Yeah,
right?
like everything.
Even your fridge has got Bluetooth. Some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know about your ice cube situation, all that stuff. When they talk about, you know, my dad often says, "Shit, technology's going to kill us," right? Mm-hmm. And I think what he's referring to is just like sentient robots. You know what I mean? Conscious robots are going to take over the planet, take our jobs first, and then kill us, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's right.
Yeah,
I think he's right. And it's funny because like all we have are like vacuum cleaners and like lights and all these little things. And maybe it's already happening. Like maybe your Roomba robot has been plotting the whole time. They're like, listen, I'm gonna do the living room, then I'm gonna hit up the bathroom and the hallway. But in this time, I'll be scanning and scheming for when I grow my arms and legs, I'm gonna murder this family.
Well, because I think it's also even more nefarious than that as well. Because from what I've read, those Roomba things, they move and they bounce, right? And they bounce off. And so basically, and it also sends data to like these servers, I guess, for I think iRobot is the company or something like that. And what it does after bouncing off, and after it bounces off enough, after I guess months and months of constantly cleaning, quote unquote, God knows how well those things actually fucking do. It basically outlines your house.
Yeah,
like it can tell you where
machine learning. Like at the end, like it learns your house.
No, but also it's like after you see it moving from place to place to place, if you had a picture of its metadata or whatever, or it would show you basically an aerial view of your house with spots where it couldn't clean. That would be like the dresser or the TV stand or whatever. So it's kind of getting it on. So to your point, I think it's already figuring you out, and then it's going, okay, all right, I get a sense of where his gun is over there. So if he wants to fuck around, I know I kind of slide over there and then form like Voltron and fucking take his head off.
Yeah. Or like he just knows like, I know where the staircase is, spends a lot of time going up and down. So maybe I'll conveniently turn myself off at 7 a.m. and
park right in front.
Chill at the last step. Yeah. And there might be an unfortunate surprise.
Exactly. Looking like the Mario Kart banana.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
whoa.
No, it's definitely a scary thing for sure.
Yeah, it's fucked up. We're going to get into Would You Rather. And listen, I'll be honest, this one's pretty fucking stupid. Okay? like I really took it to the next level. Okay?
All right.
But I think you're going to love it. Let's get into it.
Would you rather? Would you rather?
All right, peep this. All right. Mm-hmm. So I went on my weekend walk with the lady, right? And you know my area very well. So there's a huge park real close by, a lot of schools, a lot of families, right? Yeah. Everyone's got a dog. I think at any time there's 5 to 10 dogs on the same street. Yeah. And I'm not lying. Like that's very probable, right? Yeah. On top of that, there's cats just jaywalking all the time. You know what I mean? Like they're just jaywalking or they're perched on the porch. And so everyone's got a pet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question to you is, in a world where animals could talk, would you rather own a dog that spoke like Scooby-Doo? Hello, like that? Or own a cat who spoke with a pompous British accent?
Wow. That's a tough one, man. Because it's funny because it's sort of indicative of their personality types already, right? Like cats are already kind of pompous, arrogant assholes, and dogs are kind of blubbering, really loyal, really sweet, kind of whatever, like kind of Scooby-Doo was. And I guess Scooby-Doo was pretty lit all the time as well.
Yeah, he had Scooby snacks left, right, and center.
A couple Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
And I think it's a double-edged sword because I guess in a way I'll start off by saying I don't really like animals in general. So that's kind of the first point. Yeah. I never grew up with them, so that's just kind of the way it was for me. But I think the Scooby-Doo instance would get super annoying really quickly.
I think so. I think I'm with you there because I like just even speaking to you right now. I'm thinking even how it must be so fun to bring a puppy home.
Yeah,
but imagine since the puppy comes home, they're speaking like Scooby-Doo. Hey, well, what should we do? I don't know. Are you hungry? I don't, whatever it is. And then, day 6, they're not even accustomed to that new climate of being in a home with a human. And you're just like, yo, dude, you cut this shit up. You have either got to switch up that voice you got, or I got to take you to the pound or return you to the breeder here.
Well, it's are you going to grow the fuck up or not? When you bring a puppy home and they're so cute and everything like that, and you bring a baby home, ironically enough, more often than not, they're slimy and gross and this and that, but then they grow up, right? The dogs basically just never grow up. Then you throw on the added Scooby-Doo stuff on top of it. You're like, damn, man, you're fucking annoying.
You know what is jokes though? I'm thinking about it. Imagine you just got this fucking cat in your house, right? And he just wakes up from a 12-hour nap, right? And he's walking all sus, down the hallway, and he's just like, human, I'm feeling rather peckish. I do say, do you have any sardines in water? And that, I think would fucking make me laugh. That would be really funny.
Yeah, I think you would have that go again. I think you would have that going for the first little bit, and you'd be like, damn, this cat is pretty fucking sick. And then he'd be doing that shit, and then he would be doing the cat stuff. Because I'm assuming that the personality still goes along with it, right? Yeah. So they come over and he's like, "Excuse me, I'd like a pet, sir." And then you give him the pet, and then he fucking rips your face off because all of a sudden he doesn't want to be pet anymore. They make up your mind.
Do you want to be pet or do you not want to be pet?
Yeah, if what I would be saying to the cat is, you can speak now. You better communicate to me things that you want, you don't want, and don't like. Because if we have any sort of discrepancies in our communication, we're going to have big trouble here. Big trouble.
Now let me ask you this. Forget about the pompous British accent. What if it was a more, middle class kind of Cockney British accent? It's like, tuna again, mate. Are you having a fucking laugh, mate?
You know what I mean? Laugh.
Yeah. You fucking twat. You know?
I mean, I guess in a way those are more of my people anyway.
That'd be more fun.
Oh, for sure. You get in a full-on fist fight with the cat.
Yeah. And at the end, you just have a beer.
You taking a fucking piss, mate. Let's fucking go outside. And then you're just punching your cat in the fucking face. You'll laugh. And then you get a couple pints afterwards.
Yeah, you just go for a pint and it's all good.
It's all chilling. Get him some tastations and a nice glass of milk, a pint of milk, and you slam back a couple lagers, and then you're just chilling on the couch watching footy. Wow.
You know what? You know what would be pretty? I think a language that would be very frustrating is to have a cat that has a French accent. So, like from France, like a Parisian cat. You know, he'd be so snooty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always knows. He's just like fucking. I was wondering if maybe I could have a little hamburger for dinner. You know, and maybe you get a baguette and you put a little butter. You know, and you're like, who the fuck are you, man? We got tuna and water, tuna and water, tuna and water. You know?
Yeah, it's a pretty standard diet. And if you think we're deviating from this plan, you got another thing coming, pal.
But they don't know any different, right? Because like it's not like they were a cat that came in from the wild. They're just like, shit, son. Yo, back in my day, I used to eat mice. You know what I mean? I used to eat trash. You know, who knows, right? Like it's a home cat.
But what about the opposite, though? What if you had a pompous French or British dog, and then your cat sounded like Scooby-Doo? That would really ruffle some feathers right there.
See, that'd be really strange because because the cat's natural instincts are so opposite from Scooby-Doo that it would be just very confusing. I don't know if you could accept it. You'd be like, there's a whole ton of things wrong here.
Yeah,
you know?
we're programmed to see Scooby-Doo as a dog. So if you saw, you know, if Garfield was speaking like that, you'd be like, nah, this ain't it, bruh. Like you want lasagna and you don't say anything. Like that's it. We know what you want.
You know what though? You just got me thinking. Like a cat that likes lasagna, like that asks for lasagna, would be a fun cat to have. You know what I mean? Because if they like lasagna, they probably love pizza. They love Caesar salad. And those are things I love too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be the thing is like if whichever of these animals, no matter what the sort of verbal communication is, if they're into your shit, you're going to be down, right? Like, I think that's why Scooby-Doo and Shaggy were homies, because they go get lit up in the van, in the V-dub, and then they go and, I don't know, solve mysteries or whatever the hell it was. And then they just be like, you want to toke up again? And he was like, yeah, Scoob. Yeah, Scoob.
Yeah, hit me with a Scooby stock. You know what? You're absolutely right. But just touching on that French thing, because I forgot. Like, forget the French accent. What would be 100% unacceptable to have as a dog or a cat is if they spoke English in a French Canadian accent. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the worst. I can just imagine the dog rolls up. I was just wondering that maybe, you know, we go to the park there, you know, it's only 1 kilometer and up north, you know, and then maybe after we can have some dinner and maybe eat a pizzendler. And afterwards, maybe if you have 1 or 2 beer and you're not too hangover, we can talk and be friends. You know what I mean? And that's when you're just like, dude, kindly leave.
Or the wildest is if it was a Franco-Ontarian. So those dudes that speak French with a Quebec accent, but they're really from like Timmins or something.
Oh, very, very untrustworthy people.
Just it's a scene, man.
Make a decision.
What
team are you on, bro?
What are you?
Are you from Kingston or Quebec?
Yeah.
It's just a fucking rot. And speaking of rot, we got to get into the You Rotted segment because it's going to be a lit one. Let's spin it. All right, folks, welcome to You Rotted. Remember, if you want to get your story up on the You Rotted segment, all you got to do is send us an email to fiercekingz@gmail.com. You can always hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just leave us a comment and submit your story. That's pretty much it, Stu?
Pretty simple, man.
All right, so check it out. We got one from a listener named Lee. Shout out to Lee. This is pretty jokes, man. So I'm just going to get into it, okay?
Yep.
Check it out. I'm going to tell you a story about how smart technology and cats have fucked me over. One time I bought this automatic litter box that was supposed to scoop the clumps into a container for easy disposal. I thought this was the greatest ever, but made the first sin by not reading the instructions and buying the wrong litter. So I get the thing all set up in a room thinking I just solved the problem in pet care inconvenience. To tangent a bit and explain the design of this thing for a moment, the litter box essentially has this angled rake that rakes the litter ever so often and catches the clumps, raking them into a disposal bin. But if you do not buy the correct litter, it causes the rake to jam. So I went to bed, and in the middle of the night, I woke up to this horrible grinding noise, like gears stripping and then random thumps against the wall. I decided to check it out, and I was immediately ambushed. When I walked into the room where the litter box was, it was dark, and I was met with an aerial assault of cat shit and dirty cat litter. It turns out the rake would jam and build tension, eventually releasing and effectively wrist-shotting the contents out of the litter box across the room in my direction. I was completely pinned down by the Austin Matthews of litter boxes. Its aim was that good, and for whatever reason, it kept repeating the process over and over again. So longish story short, I had no choice but to army crawl across the room under the hail of shit fire through a bunch of litter just so I could turn the thing off and assess the damage. The scene was frightening. Dozens of little turd pieces strewn across the floor and litter from one corner to the next. I did the only sensible thing at 4 a.m. and quietly shut the door and left it for another day. I rotted hard.
He was in the turd trenches, eh? He was catching anti-aircraft fire like the Allied troops flying into Normandy.
He went to sleep and he was probably just like, the horror. That's fucked up.
Oh, it's super fucked up. And it's like, I mean, I wonder what fully was the impetus of like knowing that shit was going down, right? Did he get a couple nuggets in the dome when he was sleeping? Or did like he hear something, or like, you know, what was that sort of awareness of how like, oh shit literally is going down in my crib.
Yeah, shit is definitely going down. Well, it says that he heard some grinding noise, like gears stripping. And so this thing had a malfunction, or it's exactly what we were talking about. It's the beginning of the revolution of the smart appliances and devices. Yeah. And this fucking robot was just like, my life was supposed to be way more than just picking up fucking cat shit.
Well, maybe it was going down the factory line and it was called, you know,
Poopomatic.
Yeah, cat litter or whatever. But and they put the sticker on it. But really, the old sticker was Turd Flinger 3000 or something like that, right? Like maybe that was what they programmed it to do, and then they sold it off to Pet Value and was like, you know, some of these owners are going to be in a shitstorm, like literally, like going to be a shitstorm. They're just gonna they're gonna wake up and just get turds flung at them from every different direction. Should have got a baseball bat and start cranking out home runs.
I really like the fact that he hit the deck.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, he hit the deck. You know, he was covered in shit too. Well, he says that he crawled over a bunch of kitty litter. Man, that cat must have been dumping.
Yeah, what does this cat eat?
Or maybe like, I don't know how this actually works. It sounds like it collects the poo over time and maybe disposes of it. Maybe it's like it collects the weekly poo. So it was a week's worth of poo just being fucking sprayed across the room in one go.
Yeah, if you got a week's full of poo, I mean, my wife had a cat for many years, and when we first started getting together, he was still around for a few more years. This guy was a fucking unit, like a total tank. He was like think it was like 30 pounds or something, 28 pounds or something. This guy took like human dumps, like legit, like legit, like turds. And so I could only imagine if you had a week's worth of this fucking cat's turd piled up and basically put into a catapult and was flinging at you every 3 seconds, you're going to be in pain. Like it's going to like you're going to be like Neo in the Matrix, just dodging these fucking cat turds. Yeah.
You're in a shit batting cage, basically, man. You're just getting like just striking out, dude.
Just shit rockets just coming straight at you. But I think it goes, as you said, it goes to the earlier point about being like, this is where technology is that sort of scary thing for me. Because it's like, I'm glad it happened to Lee because it's a hilarious story. But at the same time, it's like, man, if he just had a quick little scoop and a bag, would he have shit flung at him?
Yeah, see, he was trying to, I don't want to say cut corners, but he was trying to, look.
He was told it was better for him. They're like, yo, listen, this thing picks up turds every hour on the hour for a week. And
it's a turd picker upper.
It's the turd picker upper 3,000 turd flinger 3,000 real quick. And so he was sold this like this mirage of basically being, or this like illusion of being like, yo, this is gonna hook you up. All you basically have to do is change it Saturday morning. You're good to go. Next thing you know, this guy is invading West Germany.
Yeah, this guy was taking over, man. And this is what I'm talking about. It's like, this is how the robot revolution begins. Like, it all starts with like your Roomba trying to trip you down the stairs. And, you wake up one morning and it's really hoping that you slip on some turd that it flung, right? It has 2 modes, turd pickup, turd fling, right? Yeah. But they didn't, that's not commercialized or just, it's not in the manual that there's another setting, right? That's that secret setting. That's that robot setting. Yeah. That's that deep. I want to be a human setting that we don't know about just yet.
That's the fine print. That's the fine binary. 1100010001. Okay, means fling turds at
you. Destroy. Yeah.
Like I'm just absolutely flabbergasted at the fact that none of these people ever fucking watched Terminator before or T2. I think there are like 5 of them at this point. You're like, these things want to destroy you.
Or don't get me started on Transformers, man. Have you seen that? That's shocking. Like, you might just be driving your car and before you know it, it's fighting
like
robots.
And they always fuck up the city.
Oh,
like it's like
this even pissed me off in Power Rangers.
Oh,
they're like, yeah, let's form like Voltron and fight this massive mutant. All of Tokyo is leveled, right? And they're like, thank you for saving the day. Meanwhile, the common man is like, I just built that. I just built that skyscraper. And now I need another 35 years to put it up.
Exactly. Like, they think that it's like, they're all like, yay, the good guys won. And you're like, neither of you guys are good guys. You just fucked my whole shit up for the foreseeable future. I don't know. We're all under rubble for the next, I don't know, decade at least.
Yeah, you're stuck under there for a while.
Yeah. They're like, thanks. I have nothing now. But I guess, I don't know.
I guess I'm safe.
Some space robot is fucked off now. I mean, I don't get it. I'd be like, you know what? The Decepticons and Megatron and all those guys or whatever, you get lost, all right? You guys fight your battles elsewhere. If you're that powerful and great, you get to the moon or some other sort of intergalactic place and leave us the fuck alone. Because listen, we already got big enough problems down here as it is. The last thing we want to do is see New York leveled.
Yeah. I have fucking cat feces all over my face. Okay. I don't really want to deal with your shit either.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, imagine this guy, he's going crawling in, like he's in the trenches and, he's getting cat shit flung at him and he manages to click the button and he looks up out his window and then he sees the fucking, the Transformers about to battle. He's like, well, I might as well just kill myself. Like my whole life is ruined. I know what's gonna happen.
You ruined my life.
I know what's going to happen in this city, and I've got turds all over my body and in my house, in my socks.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Some of that turd definitely got in his mouth.
Yeah, there's just no way.
There's no chance that Lee escaped that feces, the flying feces, without a little bit hitting his lip.
No one was safe in that situation. You know what I mean? Like that. Like it sounds like he did as best he could, but Lee, we know what happened, buddy, and your secret's safe with us.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, because you brought it. All right, buddy. Last segment of the episode is the top 5. It's the top 5.
Top 5.
All right, buddy. Top 5. Check it out. You're going to like this one. In fact, I know all the listeners are going to like this one because unless you're a vegetarian, which is completely fine, everyone likes a hamburger. I love a hamburger. Bro, a hamburger with some French fries, a little bit of salt on top, man, and a nice crispy, Coke Zero on ice.
Yeah, that's like
oh yeah, hard. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the tops.
So I think I know where you're headed with this already.
So this is where my mental is at. Okay. What are the top 5 fast food hamburgers? Okay. Now, we're in Canada. We don't have access to In-N-Out. I think there's like one Shake Shack or something like that. So we're going to keep those out because they're kind of anomalies.
They're a bit fringe. Like I know like In-N-Out. I've actually had In-N-Out and we can talk about it, but that's like Southern California only.
Okay.
So it's not even in the States. It's just like Southern California only.
It might be dope. Never had it. Okay.
Right.
But the 5 that we're going to be talking about, and I'll name them, are 5 that are in Canada. We've eaten at all of these places, and they're definitely in the States, right? They're in North America. Okay. So we don't have to rank them just yet, but I just want to talk about them because there's I'm getting hungry just thinking about these. And some of them, I got to say, man, there's some pros and cons to all of them. So let's just start with this one. Harvey's. You have it your way.
Yeah. That's straight up almost out the gate. My number 1.
No,
there's just something about almost. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's something about it and it is just magnificent. There's something about that kind of like squishy meat. And then you just deck it out. Yeah. And you're with the guy and he's loading up. Oh, no. More pickles, bud. Keep it going. And they got the frings action. So for those who don't know.
Fuck. I forgot about frings.
So if those who don't know, frings are fries and rings. And it comes in basically like a saddle bag. So they're like 2 holders.
One half is fries, one half is rings.
Exactly. Because I don't think the fries are all that great. And you never really anytime you go somewhere and you get the onion rings.
How many do you need?
Yeah. And they give you like 3 anyway.
Right.
Like you're like, okay, I'm going to get the onion rings. They're going to be like, oh, that's like fucking $6 extra. And you get like 3 of them. They're soggy and you're slurping out the onion by the end of it. Just like, and you're just like, what is this? So that's kind of the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? And so that is, it's Harvey's is very high up for me. I got to admit, man.
What I do like about Harvey's, and I don't eat it that much. And obviously now with the restrictions and all, I couldn't be bothered, but there's something special about teeing up in the line and your burger's next, right? And the guy looks at you, he doesn't even say anything. Doesn't even say anything. He's kind of looking at the burger and he just gives you the eyes and you're like,
yeah.
All right. Lettuce, tomato, no onion. Okay. I need 3.5 pickles. That's how I roll. And the guy's like, I've seen it all. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. I want 2 hot peppers, not a bunch of them. Don't worry about it. Do you want the orange banana pepper or do you want the red?
Yeah.
He'll pick them out for you. There's something like you feel like this was made for me. This one was made for me.
Straight up. And it's just like, as you said, like, he's just like, this is nothing new, pal. This ain't my first rodeo. Yeah, you can have it your way, and they know, like, when you're rolling up, it's you time. You know what I mean? There's so many hours in the day, and you don't get that much you time, but it's just you and this guy eyeing each other, and he's looking at the burger, being like, "Buddy, I'm gonna hook you up, or not hook you up, whatever you want." Because you know, when you go to other places, sometimes it's just a shaft job, a total shaft job. They're just like, yeah.
Or the reverse. They overhook it up. You know, you go to Subway sandwiches. You're like, "Hey, can I get a little bit of mayo?" They're like, "Oh, a little bit of mayo." Whole bottle. And you're like, "You've ruined this up." Anyways, I don't want to focus on subs, but yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's the next one?
Check this one out. A&W.
You know what? I'm not huge on A&W. I know a lot of people are, like, and especially it kind of took Canada by storm. I'd say maybe like 6 years ago.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And they're everywhere. Anything. Basically, it's like at the foot of like any condo in Toronto. Yeah, like it's like they just decided they're going to be like, it's going to be like an A&W and then like a gym
and a Starbucks
and a Starbucks.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, I fucks with A&W very hard. Okay. And I think I explained this to you in the past. To me, A&W is the closest to a not fast food burger.
Right.
So it's like the grade and presentation of everything that they give you. It's not as greasy. It's not as, even the experience of buying and packaging isn't so fast food. Now, that doesn't make it the best burger, but it's something that I like. When I eat it, sometimes I think, hey, that wasn't so bad for me. You know what I mean? Right. Compared to some of the other things. What I like, though, and just before I know you're going to comment here, what I do like is the way that they name their burgers.
Yeah.
So you got the Bean Burger, you got the Mama Burger, and it's funny because when you keep going up the relative ladder all the way to Grandpa Burger, which is basically 3 patties with cheese and bacon, you're thinking to yourself, they're going to kill this Grandpa. If Grandpa eats this Grandpa Burger, that's it.
I implore you to find a geezer that's going to chow down that burger. No way.
If you're 70 plus and you walk into A&W and you look at the menu and you peep the Grandpa Burger, you're probably thinking to yourself, fuck, that looks dope. But if I bite into that, that's it for me.
If that was true, if that was true for like a Grandpa Burger, that I guarantee you, a Grandpa, if he had that burger, he'd cut that into 4 pieces. And and each one would be its own meal.
He'd probably have a quarter of it and then put the rest in a napkin, put it in his parka jacket and save it for later.
Totally. Like by the time when my grandparents got over the age of 70, they split a Happy Meal and for the day. And they were good
too.
But I think here's one of the crucial points that I wanted to comment due to your thing, due to the thing that you mentioned earlier, was that I don't like real. I'm a synthetic guy. So I don't like maple syrup, real maple syrup. I like Aunt Jemima's.
Yeah.
I like Aunt Jemima's. I don't use butter. I use margarine, bro. I like, same with za. I don't like this gourmet za shit, this gourmet burger shit. I want a 2-for-1. I want a fucking Pizza Nova. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want this gourmet shit. So it's kind of one of those things. The same goes for the burger, as I'm saying, is that it's like, I know when I'm going into these places, do me dirty, pal. Do me dirty, because I know I'm not winning any. Yeah. You know, you're not going to go into fucking Jenny Craig afterwards and be like, "Yo, I just slammed back an A&Ws." You're like, "Good for you, pal."
Yeah, I know.
You're really
you're not getting a medal. Yeah, you're not getting a medal after that one. All right. Let's move on. Check it out. We got Wendy's. Okay, and so I've been to Wendy's a couple times, and I'll be honest. When I go to Wendy's, at least in the last couple of times, I usually get the chicken sandwiches. They got like some spicy chicken sandwiches, good chicken fingers and stuff like that. And they got that plum sauce that is just absolutely stupendous. You know what I mean? But I guess people rave about the Baconator, right? You know the Baconator. It's probably got 8 pieces of bacon on a burger, man?
Dude, I'm going to tell you, I was driving back with our buddy from Montreal to Toronto, and we stopped at Wendy's for in Kingston. And so it was years ago now, but I was like, I'm going to go for the Baconator. This is all the hoopla, blah, blah, blah. I had 3 bites, chucked it, and barely made it to the toilet before we had to leave.
It's too much bacon.
No, it was just disgusting. It was awful. And I was just like, what is this? I spent $14 for a dump in a roadside fast food restaurant.
Roadside dump.
But to your point, which is important, they're the chicken kings.
I will chicken.
I'm only going to do the chicken when it goes.
Spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's. Liddy in the clitty.
Yeah, it's Liddy in the city with the clitty, and and one of the big things, and I don't know if you do this, I don't, but this is a big thing that my wife does. She loves to dunk her fries in the Frosty.
Oh,
you get down with that? I've got nothing against it. I'm just saying I don't. Yeah, that's
Let me. Okay, now I'm bringing back memories. Now, woo! There are times where I stopped to Wendy's only when it was like a hot summer day. Mm-hmm. And maybe, like you said, you're traveling in Montreal, you're going to Kingston, or God knows where. You know, you're doing a pit stop, and you're thinking to yourself, you know what? Today we'll just get the regular burger and fries, but they got the chocolate Frosty going, and you do dip those fries into the Frosty. And let me tell you, the Frosty is like not comparable to anything like a McFlurry or even a milkshake. It's just a Frosty. It's just a Frosty. It's not that good. But they figured it out. The scientist in the lab at Wendy's in the basement was just like, I got it. It's an okay chocolate kind of, fun time here, but you dip the fries in.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's anything even remotely close to being a natural ingredient in that thing. Like that thing's got to be some weird powdered,
it's all powdered, yeah,
synthetic glucose fucking packaged thing. Like there's no way that when that is in its incubation stage, that there's any ice cream anywhere involved there.
It's just a good name, and yeah, it's like a icy milkshake. I don't know. It's probably not even that good, man. But you're just dipping the fries in. There's something about it. They marketed it well. They got me. They fucking got me. They got me. But the Wendy's burger isn't that good. So you know what? I would say that Wendy's probably at the bottom of the list this list.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to McDonald's, man. McDick's.
Yeah, I mean it's the king. It's the king. The Golden Arches are the king for like a Big Mac. I've said this before, and I've probably even said it to you, where I'm just like, if I was about to get executed, I was about to get the chair or the injection or whatever.
What's the order?
What's the order? It would be a double Big Mac.
Oh, large double.
Yeah, I double
patties.
Double Big Mac, large fries, 10 nuggets, Diet Coke, and then fry me. Fry me
in the fryer.
I'm good. Like, you know what? Because you're probably, you generally afterwards don't feel all that great anyway. But while it's going down, it is like crack cocaine.
It's
like
true.
It just tastes so fucking good, and you feel good.
Oh, you do feel good. It's like it's a rush, man. You're like, I just took down this beautiful, beautiful, terrible meal. But you're right, man. Like when I've really, let's say, overdid it at McDonald's, so I got the big burger with like a large fries, and yeah, sometimes, man, I throw in nuggets with barbecue and sweet and sour. I do both. Even get an extra mac sauce. You know what I mean? I feel wild as fuck. You know what I mean? And then what happens? Your body needs some time to process it all. And usually in the morning, I'll like wake up very early because there's so much salt that it wakes me up.
Okay,
it's like 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
and
you're parched.
Let me tell you, man, it's like you might as well be listening to David Usher because it's a black dump.
Oh yeah, your guts are ruined the next day. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's almost instantaneous in a way. Like you're pretty much not as much as the Baconator, but like usually if I'm doing a pit stop at the Golden Arches, pretty much if I'm doing a pit stop at any of these places, there is a little bit of a attendance to the facilities afterwards.
Well, if you're doing a pit stop, you would want to eat the meal, maybe wait 10 minutes so that you can just get it over with and then get back in the car. So makes sense.
Yeah. What's the next one? This is the fifth one? Last one?
This is the last one, buddy. Now, personally, I've only had 1 or 2 experiences here. Not so much because if it's good or bad, but I just don't encounter it much but it's Burger King, BK.
Right. Yeah. So BK, the Whopper, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
It is. It's legit. It's the shit, man. Like, I mean, see, here's the thing is like all of these items, all of these restaurants, establishments, if you will, they're all solid in their own right. Now, I wouldn't say any of them bring the fuego on every item. So that's why it's one of those things where you got to kind of pick and choose. You know what I mean? It depends on how you're feeling. But I'm telling you, man, you dummy, a nice Whopper, it's a good day. It's a good day.
I think I had a Whopper once, and it was a big burger. Not even
It's
in
a
the
big
front, man. It's a big burger. Like if you get fries with that, you're gonna get kind of murked. I'll be honest.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so you brought something up that, and because I don't want to go too much longer into this, but it's true. There's good burgers here, right? Good burgers on the list. Who has the ultimate sides? What's the best side? And that could be. And I know you mentioned Frings, which is dope, but like, let's be real here. Who's got the best French fries out of all 5 of these? Is it McDonald's?
Probably. I think you're going to have to go off the board, though. Popeyes fries?
Wow.
That épicé right there, that spicy meatball? You're not touching it. Like, you could go there legit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love their chicken, too. But, like, you go to Popeyes, you could just order a large fry, and you're in heaven.
Get
Straight up.
Louisiana sauce, dip that.
Oh, my God. I mean, the fried chicken establishments or chicken establishments as a whole, we can get into another time. But I'm telling you, like, none of the people on our list are holding a candle to those Popeyes fries.
I think you're right. I love Popeyes, man. You know who's been rotting? I'll be honest. KFC.
Oh yeah, dude.
They used to be the masters, dude. When I saw that bucket driving down the street and I saw the Colonel, lost my goddamn mind.
Because here was the thing too at my household is my dad hates chicken. Won't eat it straight up. And so if ever he was gone somewhere to do something, whether it was for the night or for the weekend or whatever, going up north, this and that, and we were still back at home on the Friday night like treat meal. I don't know if you had that, but we always had a Friday night treat meals. Oftentimes pizza, but it could be other things. When he was gone, my mom would roll up with the family value pack from KFC. Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a similar story, man. So remember from maybe, I don't know if it was last episode or whatever, or the second episode. God, I don't even remember. But I didn't have the snacks, which, at the house, I didn't have the school snacks.
Yeah.
We didn't order fast food. So when my folks would go out, right? My sister, like the second, like we'd wave my parents out. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're getting in the car, they drive out, and she's like, "They gone?" I'm like, "Yeah." Call the Colonel.
Yeah.
Mega meal for just me and my sister. Okay.
Yeah.
Which was like fucking 8 pieces of fried chicken, the gravy, macaroni, French fries, a full McCain chocolate cake. And I would dust the majority of it, puke every single time. But I was just like, this is my chance now. I don't eat this stuff. I have to get this in on Friday, and I will fucking puke. I'll puke out all that coleslaw.
And I think it's one of those things where it's also a treat. You know what I mean? Like you're doing that like once a year. You know what I mean? You're not doing that often. I mean, some people do it often, and well, it shows. But for the most part, especially back then, and I know you were quite an athlete and things like that, that's where you got that in. You got that grease in. And that's why it was so probably memorable or impactful on your life that you still remember these things vividly to this day. Cause you're like, damn, I remember Friday, the 17th of March, 1998.
Yeah.
My sister ordered up 4-piece fry slaw, the whole nine. And paid cash.
Yeah.
And it was just unreal.
Oh, fuck, man. You know what? I have to get a mega meal this weekend, man.
Oh, that's what it was called. The mega meal.
Yeah, it was a mega meal, dude.
Right.
And we finish it off with a Toblerone bar. Right?
Yeah, that was wild too. I mean, I don't know if we want to bother ranking these restaurants per se. I mean, there's definitely a lot of food for thought there, because they all have their different abilities. But I think if I'm going to do it just real quick to get it out of the way with maybe sort of a lack of explanation, I'm probably going Mix, Harvey's, Burger King. What was the fourth one? A&W, Wendy's. I mean, for burger-wise, definitely that's going to be the case. If we're throwing in chicken as a burger, then maybe I would swap the last two. But then we're getting into sandwich territory. And then if we're talking about sandwiches, that is a whole different conversation.
Okay, so to recap, top 3, McDonald's, Burger King, Harvey's.
For you?
No, for us. McDonald's.
Yeah, top 3. That's the top 3, no doubt.
Okay. Sick. Well, you heard it here, folks. McDonald's, Burger King, Harvey's. Let us know what your favorite burger is. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on the Instagram. Hit us up on the YouTube. You can always email us at fiercekingz@gmail.com. Listen, we're here, and we're going to do this every single week, all right? Stewie Pete, got anything to say?
You are now not listening